Hey all! Wow, what an amazing and wild ride this week has been. I'm going to get to that in a moment, but first let's take a look at the spaces I'm going to be working on today. Now these spaces are not nearly as bad as the hallway and dining room areas were, but they still needed some love. Also, stay tuned to the end of the video to see if I have maintained the spaces I tidied up in episode 1. Alright, let's get to work. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Jamie and I make content related primarily to homemaking. One of the first things you will notice is I go after the low-hanging fruit again to get some quick wins. We had just finished homeschooling for the day, so I needed to put away the school stuff, and of course my purse needed to go where it belongs. Just moving the school stuff and my purse made a huge difference. I like to do all of my dishes towards the end of cleaning the kitchen because otherwise I find more dishes and then I'm doing dishes multiple times, which I don't really like to do. So I try to clear the counters and get all of the dishes in one area before I tackle them. Oh, and before I forget, thank you, you amazing people for the suggestions of wiping down my cutting boards with lemons. The onion smell is gone and I am so beyond thrilled. Why, yes, I did just put a stick of butter in the microwave instead of the fridge. Isn't that where you guys keep it? No? Yeah, I have no idea why I put it there. I found it there this morning and was really confused until I played back this video. So now that the counters are mostly cleared, it is time to do the dishes and chat. One of my favorite times. One of the things I did for the longest time was take our kitchen down to 4 place settings, which really allowed me to stay on top of the dishes because I kind of needed the dishes for the next meal. But at some point we got away from that, and when I declutter the kitchen here in a couple of weeks, I'm definitely going to take us back down. I like to store our cups with the lids on them so I don't have to search for the right lid. I always make sure the straw hole is open to allow good airflow. I mean, come on, no one likes a musty Yeti with their coffee. Just saying. So yeah, this week has been amazing and a bit overwhelming, but in a good way. I had no idea my first Battling Clutter video would resonate with so many people. I wanted to take a moment to thank everyone who watched, liked, subscribed, and or commented. The kindness was truly heartwarming. As you can imagine, it was not easy for me to post that mess, and I felt so vulnerable, and if I'm being completely honest, probably a bit embarrassed and ashamed to post it, but you all gave grace and encouragement, and it was truly appreciated. I do love these reusable bags, but I did not get a good seal on that one, and some veggies freezer burned, and the smell is still lingering. Now, I'm going to admit that the lemon trick worked so well on the cutting boards, I am actually considering wiping down the reusable bag with lemon juice or maybe spraying it with some lemon and water or something just to see if it'll help. I'd used my cast iron skillets to make cornbread, so they just needed to get a wipe down, and then I used some coconut oil to lightly season them before putting them in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. I do love my cast iron, and I want to make sure that they stay in tip-top shape. I have a shadow. Her name is Pickle. And Pickle likes to stick really close to me, which makes it really tough at times to move around without tripping. And I forgot to show it, but I'm using the Method degreasing spray on my cooktop. I love that spray because it's not a harsh, fumey spray and it really breaks through the grease and grime and makes cleanup a breeze. And just in case anyone is wondering, one of the last things I do at night is spray my countertops with a disinfectant. Now, obviously, I disinfect during the day if I need to. So like if I've cooked poultry or raw meat or, something that would require disinfecting, I do it then too. But I really like doing it at night so it can sit and really get into all the good nooks and crannies. Now next week I'm planning to do a super deep clean of my kitchen, so the cabinets will be getting cleaned, and I'm hoping to get our cabinet hardware installed. I am really tired of broken nails. It was so nice to get this kitchen cleaned up. After I wiped down the counters, I wanted to refill my diffuser. Now, I love this diffuser. Usually I use a combination of orange and peppermint, although on this day I had eucalyptus going to help with some allergies, which the scratchy voice says I'm still dealing with. Those baskets are going to go in our master closet for some organization, and I'm so excited. I took them in there, but then I came right back out because, let's face it, if I had stayed in there and put the stuff in the baskets, then I would have looked over at my hanging rod and I would have had to have decluttered my hanging rod or picked up pillows, or I would have gotten so distracted I would have never gotten back to the living room. So back to the living room I went, and I'll save the closet for another day. Ah, my shadow is right there just wanting some love and playtime, which of course I happily obliged. She loves this pink toy. Sadly, she's finally broke through the fluff layer, so now she just has the tough rubber cone to chew on. She was getting a bit worked up, so I made her lay and stay for a moment to calm her down. I tell you, it is so hard to get anything done with that ball of cuteness running around. That Christmas tree was a lot heavier than I anticipated. We got a new tree this year, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I accidentally recycled the box. So I bought this storage bag, but I thought it had a bit more structure to it. I evidently got the wrong kind, and so it's really floppy. And so I'm not really sure that it's going to work out well for storing our Christmas tree in, but we are going to give it a go. It is finally time to address those tools, and man, I was glad to see them get put away. The funny thing is they actually go in a cabinet in our kitchen, which again you'll see when I actually declutter the kitchen. So they didn't really have to go too far, but other stuff had been put in that cabinet. Raise your hand if that happens at your house. If there is a void, it gets filled. And so I had to move the stuff that was in that cabinet to get the tools back in. Thankfully, it wasn't a big deal. I could just move them a little bit, shuffle some stuff around, and got the tools back in there. Now, I did actually vacuum after sweeping with my Bissell stick vac, but I somehow lost that footage. I realized that I had forgotten to clean up my coffee bar on the day I did my kitchen and my living room, so there had to be a day 2. Now, I love having a coffee bar area, but really I need to make it a bit more organized. When we had our house built, this was supposed to be a double pantry, but the builder messed up and built a butler pantry instead, and we just lived with it. We are planning to do some renovations in this area, though, and that'll make it more user-friendly. Oh, but I do need some help because I'm a bit indecisive. Tell me in the comments if I should wall off the pass-through walkway to the dining room and make a huge pantry, or keep the pass-through walkway but change out the cabinets for open shelving. One of the things I need to do, or one of the things I would like to do, I should say, is get like my blender and my vacuum sealer off of the counter because those aren't things that I use on a daily basis. And so if I have open shelving or a bigger pantry, I can put them up in my open shelving or my bigger pantry and have that room on the counter to work with when I'm using like my big stand mixer. The other thing is it's really not a far walk between my kitchen and my dining room if we go down that long hallway that you saw in episode 1. So I'm really thinking that, I might go with the walling off, but I'm not sure. Let me know below what you think. I do try to take apart our Keurig at least once a month, and I couldn't remember if I had done it yet this month, so I just decided to do a good clean on it. I wanted to clarify a few things. Our home has been gone through several times for decluttering purposes, but we just have so much stuff. It's not necessarily that we do a lot of shopping, although Amazon is a frequent visitor at this house, but it's because we buy what we need, sometimes what we want, but we are really not that great at removing the old or no longer needed items. Another hiccup is that we downsized from a substantially larger home, but we did not downsize our furniture or possessions enough, so we're trying to find new homes for that. If there ever was a pro tip, and by no means am I a pro, but if you are going to downsize, it is so much easier to downsize before you move, downsize your possessions before you move, than it is to move them and then downsize. It's very difficult. So, pro tip, my very first pro tip, declutter before you move. After I put it all back together, I usually like to run a couple of cups of hot water just to make sure that the water does eventually run clear. Okay, let's check all the progress I've made thus far in the house. All right, thank you for joining me today as we chatted and cleaned. Having this channel has really helped keep me accountable. Now stay tuned for Friday's video when I make 3 different kinds of bread, and I will be announcing a giveaway to celebrate hitting 2,000 subscribers. You guys are amazing. If you liked this content, please hit like and subscribe to be notified when I upload new videos, usually twice a week. You guys have a blessed rest of your week, and I will see you all on Friday. Bye.